and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the products I've received in the various subscription boxes and advent calendars and such, and which ones are worth using. So I'll just be going through and tell you whether I would use this versus that. I actually got this idea from my friend's book blog, and she does a lot of read this, not that posts, and so I thought I would go through the products I've received and show you guys which ones I think you should use versus the ones I think are kind of a waste of time. I realize not everyone will agree with me because you like different things out of makeup, just like I don't always agree with her blog, but from what she posts I can tell whether I would like the book or not. I will link her blog down below, or you can just Google it. She's the book list queen and it comes right up. So the first thing I'm going to go over is just black eyeliners. So I've gotten both of these in various subscription boxes. This one is the Luna Liner, and this one is Wander Beauty Highline. In these I would use the Luna Liner. It's much more liquid. This one seems a little dry and very skippy. So in terms of these, Luna Liner. There's not a lot to say. It's black, it's felt tip. They're very similar. This one's just drier and harder to use. Next we have some eyeshadow palettes. This one is the Balm and the Beautiful by the Balm Cosmetics. While I've tried the eyeshadows, and actually the eyeshadows perform really well, they work nicely, it's a very neutral palette and easy to use. The problem is it's supposed to be themed, and it irritates me a lot that the theme has nothing to do with the colors. I could easily put any other theme over this palette and it wouldn't matter. Like, why is green screen not green? Now, the other palette I have, which is also themed, this is ColourPop's Nightmare Before Christmas palette. The colors just match what it's going for. You couldn't just then say, oh, this is a fall palette, this is a Valentine's palette, it's definitely a Nightmare Before Christmas palette, and it shows that in the colors and the theme. So in between these two, I would definitely say get this, not this. Not that this isn't a good palette. This is like, if we were comparing them to cupcakes, this would be like a vanilla cupcake that you could stick those toothpicks in that have a picture on them. So you could put a Valentine's toothpick and it would be a Valentine's palette. And you could put a Christmas tree toothpick and then it would be a Christmas palette. It could just be anything and they slapped a label on it. Whereas this one is definitely a more, this is what the palette is. Or in terms of a cupcake, I used to make one that was a Boston cream pie cupcake. And so it was a vanilla cupcake. It was filled with pudding. It had chocolate ganache and a little swirl of vanilla frosting. Like, it was definitely a Boston cream pie. And then, where's that other? This palette, in terms of cupcakes, would be a bran muffin, because it's terrible. And you're expecting a cupcake or just a workable palette, and it's just a hot mess. It did go with the theme. It did look spacey. It's just the eyeshadows didn't work very well. They were very patchy. And although bran muffins are fine, if you want a cupcake, you're gonna be disappointed. The next thing we're gonna talk about is some eye creams. I've gotten these two eye creams. I've gotten the Algenist Triple Algae Eye Renewal Balm and the Elemis Peptide 4 Recovery Cream. And then I've also gotten Dragon's Blood eye masks. The reason I'm putting this one in is because it's essentially just serum on little pads to put under your eye, much like these are like creams to put around your eye. The nice thing about this is I've used both of these for quite a while. I really like this one under my eye. It does help with my dark circles. Like I've said before, they're never going to go away. And this one really helps hydrating around my eye, and it seems to reduce the look of fine lines that I'm getting around there. And so both of these I would definitely say, if you've got them in a subscription bag, they're awesome. I would use them. I might even buy them again. This I used, it was fine, but there's only one of it. I don't know how good it is. Like, it was fine for the day, but there's no long-term usage you can get out of this. And so I'm not going to buy it because I don't know if it works. I know I'm probably not allergic to it. That's pretty much all I can get out of it. Next we have some blush palettes. This one's from Complex Culture Good Glow Blush Duo. And this one is Primrose and Cream Lip and Cheek Cream Palette. I actually quite liked the color in this palette, especially over here on this side. I don't like the cream blush, and I did not like it on my lips. I think a lot of times when they have products that can be different things, it kind of suffers on some of the formulas for different things, because I don't necessarily want the same things, the same textures, the same colors going on my cheeks versus my lips versus my eyes. And so I'd rather just have the individual products that actually work best there. So in terms of these, I would say go with the Complex Culture. It's just a regular blush. I prefer this color over here just because I prefer things that lean more towards a peachy side versus a bright pink. The next thing we have is some lip masks. These two I received in subscription boxes. This one was in FabFitFun. It's a fruit butter lip mask. It's by Seraphine Botanicals, and it was fine, but it dried really quickly, so I didn't feel it was very good as a lip mask. And this is the Sigma Conditioning Lip Mask with hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, and jojoba oil. I didn't mind this, but it was really sticky, and so then it was like hard to sleep because so I usually use lip masks at night. And the other one I got as sort of a freebie in a Sephora purchase. This is the Laneige Sleeping Mask. This one is the best, and like you can use it all day, you can use it at night. It's really moisturizing. I would definitely go with this versus these. This one is a little bit different. I have this whole palette of, it says Bronze and Highlight Palette Volume 2. It's True and Luscious Lucky Glow, and it does have a nice range of colors for what it is. It has a darker kind of bronzer, a lighter bronzer, it has this really bright blush, and then these different highlights, which I like the idea of, to have the different things all in one area without having it like that same product thing. I'm actually wearing it right now, and the problem I have with it is I don't like the color of the blush. It's way too pinky. It feels more like when I would put on blush as a child, that really poppy pink. And the bronzers are just too orange for me. They don't look very orange. They don't look very orange in the palette, but they show up really orange on my skin. I'll have to see how they look in the lights, but I didn't like it. This one up here, the highlight, the glitter is too chunky. I did like this one highlight, but then you have like this giant palette for one tiny square. Instead, I also have the LYS bronzer that I got, I believe, in BoxyCharm. It's this little triangle shaped one. I love this one. It's the perfect color. It goes really well with my skin. I don't have a bunch of extra stuff that I'm not going to use. And then also I have the Fenty Beauty Hustla Baby highlight. It's a very pretty gold highlight. It's not too chunky. It's really shiny. I would definitely go for these two things, and then the Complex Culture blush over this palette. The last thing I have, I did talk about before with the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primer, because I just don't like luminosity. I really do like their Poreless Putty Primer. It works really well. I don't want to be that shiny, and the places I want to put primer are really the pores I want to hide. So I also wanted to talk about something else you can use instead of just the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. The other thing is this. This is from Beauty Bakery. This is the butter. And one thing I do like about this is the packaging is actually like a stick of butter. and that makes me really happy. But this is very similar to the e.l.f. one, but it comes in this nice stick instead of that little pot. So that's just another one where I would use this one, not this one. So that's all for today's video. Let me know in the comments below if you agree, if you would use different options, if you have an option that I don't have here that maybe you got in a beauty box that you prefer, or that you just found at the store that's better than these products. I get a lot of my stuff from these subscriptions, and I don't buy a lot just on their own in the store. So if you have a good tip, let me know. If you liked this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. As always, I would love it if you would subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!